Here's the final piece from that Akai system that I got at that estate. This is the cassette deck for it. And this one here I'm not really that keen on fixing. I just want to see what's wrong with it, and we'll check it all out because this one here has more value in the parts it contains. Let's check it out. This time I have an Akai. This is an HXA1. This is another one of those components with the knobless knobs. Let's say cheap garbage. Akai was a cheap company. I know I'm going to offend someone here that's going to get all bent out of shape because they've got some great Akai reel-to-reel, but even in the days of reel-to-reel Akai, we're not really all that good, especially their glass head models. But we won't go there in this one. This is a cheap cassette deck, and this was part of that estate clear out that I did last week, and this was the third part of that stereo. We already looked at the amp and the tuner that was with it, even though it wasn't the correct tuner, because the correct tuner would have had one of these stupid dials on it as well. But this is the tape deck that was part of that system, and it's just as big a piece of junk as far as I'm concerned as the rest of it. But let's take a look at it and see what's wrong with it. It doesn't work, I can tell you that much right now. Let's open it up and see if anything turns. That part works. You can see the head is raising, but it's not, nothing's turning. So if we look in the tape compartment here, we'll see that, yes, this one actually will raise the head without the tape being in place. It does not have a switch to detect whether the tape door is open or closed. But you can see the tape head is moving into position, the capstan is turning, but the take-up spool is not turning. If I turn the take-up spool by hand, it won't go into auto shutdown. As soon as I stop it, it goes into auto shutdown. So the auto shutdown feature is working. Fast forward and rewind are not working. So there's a good chance it's a belt, and that's all that's wrong with this. Let's find out. So we'll start by removing the top cover. Now there's a good possibility that this tape deck will never ever be used again, ever. I'm going to look at it and we're going to fix it on camera, but this may be one that does not stay fixed for very long, because there's parts in these things that are very valuable as service parts, namely the motor. So we'll get this one running today, but I likely won't even bother to try and sell this thing, just because it has a good motor in it. It should be a 12-volt motor. And this one, 12 volts counterclockwise, 2400 RPM. You know what that means, right? This is a sought-after motor. This could be used to fix a Yamaha or a Nakamichi or any other brand of tape deck. So a cheap mechanism like this is one that will be sacrificed at some point for that motor. But for today, let's replace the belt and see if everything else works. The belt is totally missing. Like it hasn't melted or anything. It is completely, there's no belt in the unit. Like somebody took the belt out of that to fix another machine. That's what it looks like. Somebody removed that belt because there's no indication that the belt melted. You see, there's no residue or anything on there, but the belt is totally missing. So let's find something that will spin that pulley. Okay, I have a couple of different belts here. I don't know whether they're the right size or not. I guess I'll figure it out when I slip the belt in here. This one's probably too big. Let's just see here. Yeah, this one's going to be, that one's going to be a little bit on the large size, I think. This one should be good here. This is a little smaller than the other one, so this one should do the job. Easiest way to hook this is just to pull it through from the other side. Hook the belt and pull it through and around the pulley. What did we do before we had small lights that we could put where we need them? Oh, that's right, we use flashlights. Holding a flashlight in your mouth while you're trying to use both hands to fish something in like this. Got to go on the other outside of it. There's two pulleys on this on the motor shaft here. One is for the capstan belt, and the other one is for the reel drive belt. Let's got to get it on the right one. There we go. Now it's on the correct pulley. Okay, now this thing should work. If I press, let me help if I turn it on. There we go. Now the pulley is spinning like it's supposed to, and the reels are a-turning, as is the tape counter. So let's check it out and see if it plays. It should. I think that's probably all that was wrong with this, was it was missing a belt. We'll try a tape that is, I know, recorded at the correct speed, as that one there was just recorded on some random deck. So this one here is going a little slow. Sounds a little bit slow. Let's check the speed and set it accordingly. Speed control pot on this one is on the back of the motor. We're going a little bit low here, coming up at 2.9. There we go, 3 kilohertz. I used a little Phillips. This one's a 0000 for this one. Some of the controls have different a different type of control in it. That this one obviously has a little Phillips as opposed to a slot screw. Well, I think most of them are Phillips, like this, right? But different size. Usually the slot screwdriver will adjust it, right? If you have a test tone that's recorded at 440 Hertz, you can use a standard guitar tuner, as 440 Hertz is the same as the A string. So there we go, we're right on 440. And incidentally, I just plugged my scope, which has got the counter built in. I just plugged it into one of the 9 outputs from the back of the tape deck. So this one's working, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a test recording on this one. We'll do a test recording on it just to show what it can do as far as sound quality goes. I wouldn't expect this is going to be that great of sounding unit, being that it's such a cheap piece of crap. I think this tape is probably blank. Yeah, this tape is blank at this point, so I'll plug my audio source in and we'll do a quick test recording and play it back. And as usual, I'll take the sound right out of the tape deck, plug it into the camera, and we can actually hear what this unit, how this unit sounds. As I say, this unit here is not one that I'm going to sell. I'll sell the tuner and the amplifier, but I probably won't sell the tape deck unless somebody comes along and offers me something ridiculous for it, which they won't because this tape deck's not worth anything. But as a parts machine, it certainly is, namely for the motor, because sure as sheet need a motor at some point. Okay, so to put this thing into record, I'm going to put the pause in first, reset the counter, put it into record, pause, set our levels. Why does that sound so bad? That may be my amplifier. This amp's got a problem with the volume control. And find something that's a little more upbeat. Yeah, right. That'll do. So, we'll release the pause and start the recording. This is from the YouTube music library, by the way, this one. So watch them put a claim on this. This was downloaded directly from YouTube. So I won't peak more than +3 on a unit like this because no HX Pro. It's got Dolby on it. I've got Dolby turned on, but no HX Pro or anything. Something like this is, I'm not expecting much. I might be surprised at how it performs, but I'm not holding my breath that this thing's going to sound very good at all. Okay, that should probably be enough. We'll rewind this tape and just see how this sounds, and I'll play the recording directly back into the camera. So let's take a listen. This is the sound directly off the tape. I'm doing a voiceover now, obviously. There might be a few dropouts from the tape itself. This tape is the one that's marked foobar, but not because of that. It's because it got chewed up by a deck right at the very beginning. This is a new old stock tape. It has not been used much. It had like one recording placed on it, and then it was bulk erased. So it has not got a lot of passes. That's just the tape itself. It was an old stock new tape. Anyway, let's take a listen and I'll shut up. Okay, that about does it for this one. As I say, it's a basic cassette deck. I wasn't expecting much in the way of performance. I guess that's about all I can say on this one. It does work. It records, it plays. I got it basically for parts, and that's what it's going to be used for. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.